So you Google John Smith and got a billion hits. No surprise here. It's a very common name. The problem with common names is that many people have them. So expect that most of the people you background will have a name shared by others. But don't worry, we can still find them. In the everyday world of face-to-face contact, we can spot our John Smith even when he's in a crowd. The reason is because he has unique physical features that make him different from everyone else. For example, we can find him by his height, the shape of his face, the color of his hair, his voice, and many other things that taken together no one else has in the exact same package. The same is true on the internet, except here we will be describing him with non-physical features, which just like a thumbprint make him stand out in a crowd of records. So what non-physical features make your John Smith unique? How would you spot him in a crowd of other John Smiths? For example, to find him in a Google or criminal record search, it would be helpful to know unique things about him, such as his middle name or initial, and his age or date of birth. This could narrow the search from 10,000 to 10 almost instantly. What about the names of his relatives, such as his spouse, his brother, his sister, or his parents? With this information, you could retrieve records with both his name and their names and disregard the rest. Better yet, we would know we had the right John Smith if his name was found along with his current and past contact information. For example, a John Smith with the same phone numbers, addresses, or email addresses as the one we were looking for. But even without his contact information, we could still narrow down our list because we know our John Smith lived in 5 specific cities and states and that he's also an attorney. Knowing his hobby, his fraternity, and his college and employment history would also identify the right John Smith. After all, there may be 10 million John Smiths, but how many speak French, went to Harvard, like skeet shooting, and worked for Firestone Tires? And how many of these were Phi Beta Kappas? Not many, I bet. Before I tell you what to do with this information, let me show you the free places where you can find it. The 3 age and relative lookup sites below will match the name with various other identifiers, so you know you have the right person. In addition to finding out your subject's middle name, their relatives, and where they've lived, some of these sites also provide current and prior addresses and phone numbers. In some instances, their education and employment history will also be listed. For more information on their education or employment history, check out free sites such as LinkedIn and Classmates.com. Sometimes this information can also be found in a company bio or commercial directory, which will list spouses and job histories, along with other key identifiers that make your subject unique. So how do you search with this information? First, Google their full name and also their name with middle initial, both with and without quotes around the name. Then Google all contact information past and present. This includes all their addresses, phone numbers, emails, and companies they've owned, if any. Finally, do combine Google searches with their name and school, their name and employers, their name and their profession, their name and hobbies, and their name and any other unique identifier. This can also help when adding cities that they've lived in or the names of their relatives. You can also include their blogs and their websites if they have any. Be sure to copy and paste any new information you learn into Word or Notepad. For example, you may find a unique name he used on a dating site or learn that he also had an additional email address. When you learn something new, Google the new information alone or along with his name and other identifiers. Next, it's now time to search special search engines specific to each state so you can find court records, bankruptcies, mugshots, tax records, his occupational licenses, and more. Because people move around a lot, make sure you look in every state where you know he's lived. Finally, watch the Sleuth for the Truth video Google like a pro so you can search faster and smarter. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, please feel free to share, like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks again.